because nothing says fun weekend plans like evaluating whether your spinal cord has been on a tight leash. Let's talk about the appointment. The one you've been avoiding, maybe for years. The one that requires you to walk into a neurosurgeon's office and say the sentence, "I think the bottom of my spinal cord might be stuck." Yes, I realize that sounds crazy to you. Welcome to Occult Tethered Cord, OTC land. Population: more zebras than anyone wants to admit. Just ask the EDS expert on his subject, Dr. Petra Kling's intake department, how long the wait list is. If you're prepping for a neurosurgery consult or trying to figure out how the hell to explain this to your loved ones without sending them into a spiral about scalpels and spines, this one is for you. So are you feeling really rare? In the largest hEDS registry study to date, about 1 in 20 people with hypermobile EDS reported a diagnosis of tethered cord syndrome, 4.6% versus 0.9% in HSD. That 4.6% is diagnosed TCS, not necessarily all occult cases or undiagnosed. Reviews still emphasize that the true prevalence of TCS in EDS is unknown, but clearly higher than in the general population. PMC. So here's a simple guide on how to get through it. Step 1. Understand what you're actually talking about. Before you can explain OTC to anyone else, you need the one-sentence version that won't get you sectioned under the Medical Drama Act of 2025, and called crazy again. OTC and release procedures are not, "My spinal cord is being cut. We're removing important parts. I'm about to become a cyborg." OTC is a tiny thread-like structure at the bottom of the spinal cord, the filum terminale, is pulled too tight or too stuck, and releasing it gives the whole spinal cord more room to move. Freedom. A filum is not a nerve. It is not the spinal cord. It's basically a biological shoelace that's gotten too short and sometimes tangled up. The procedure is more like snipping the string tether on a helium balloon than slicing through functional spinal tissue. But try telling that to Aunt Karen, who hears laminectomy and starts planning your funeral. Step 2. The ZU-approved metaphor for loved ones. Here's the script that will save you from emotional CPR and bringing Aunt Karen back to life. My spinal cord is like a zipper anchored at both ends, skull and tailbone. Right now, the bottom end is too tight, causing pulling sensations the base of my skull. The surgery doesn't cut the spinal cord. It trims the tiny tether that's yanking on it, giving the whole system slack so the nerves stop getting irritated from the tension of the pulling. Short, clear, not terrifying. If they still look panicked, add, the part they cut isn't attached to anything essential. It's like trimming a tag off a shirt so it stops itching. Sorry if that hits too hard. Step 3. What to bring to the neurosurgeon appointment. No one walks into a neurosurgeon appointment calm. Everyone walks in with a list of symptoms longer than a CVS receipt. Here's your distilled prep list so you don't spiral. Bring 1. A timeline of your symptoms, plus imaging discs and reports, if you have them already. If not, ask for the MRI order of the lumbar and cervical spine notes on positional triggers like worse on stairs. Patterns matter. 2. Any neurological changes, especially bladder, bowel, or progressive leg symptoms. Neurosurgeons perk up at these, not in a fun way, but in a, we should address this before it becomes irreversible way. And yes, irreversible bladder dysfunction is a known risk in untreated tethered cord. Source. That one gets our heart rate in panic mode at the idea of long-term adult diapers, so don't FAFO. 3. Your surgical history, especially CCI repair, cervical fusion, lumbar issues. When the top of the spine gets stabilized, the bottom often starts yelling. It's not chaos, it's physics, and it's anecdotally said to be common. No medical research yet. Step 4. How to emotionally prepare for the appointment. You are walking into a room where a person who operates on spinal cords for a living will look at your symptoms, nod, and say something calmly horrifying like, "Yes, that's consistent with tethering." Your job is not to panic. Your job is to gather information for decision-making after with your loved ones. This appointment is reconnaissance. You're mapping the territory, not declaring war or being attacked. What helps? Write your questions down in advance on paper. Practice your speech and bring the one-page medical summary to handover. Bring someone, preferably male, who doesn't crumble under fluorescent lighting. Ask if you can audio record so you can pay better attention in the moment. Read the rest of the steps in the full article on Substack, where zebras share secrets too in the underground.